Coming up today on Studio 13 Live, we're celebrating the queen of rock and roll, how people around the world are remembering the life and legacy of Tina Turner. Plus, it's International Wine Day. We're giving you a look at the Waves, a new Seattle company that brings wines from around the world right to your doorstep. Then we're chatting with the Seattle Mariners mental skills coordinator about how she coaches players to keep their cool at the bat. And La Dispensa is showing us how to make some fancy Italian flatbreads. Studio 13 Live starts right now.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait today.
Hello, happy Baby Friday to you. You know, we're so happy that you're here with us today. I'm Mireya Garcia, and alongside me today is Erin Majowski. Hello.
Hello, and thanks for having me. It's the first time I get to anchor with you.
Yes, we were just talking about how you've subbed for me before, but now you have to sit in a different chair. Is it messing with you?
It's messing with me. I get this straight on camera shot over here, but I'm liking it this side. I think I like this side better. We'll see.
Ooh, okay.
Don't tell Carly.
See. Yeah. It'll be great. Okay, so we do need to start today's show on a bit of a sad note, okay?
Yeah.
The music world has lost an absolute icon, Tina Turner.
What's love got to do with it?
Legendary singer Tina Turner has died at the age of 83. Turner's official Instagram announced her passing and stated, "With her music and her boundless passion for life, she enchanted millions of fans around the world and inspired the stars of tomorrow." The queen of rock and roll, Tina Turner, was born Anna Mae Bullock in 1939. She started her music career in the 1950s. In 1956, she met Ike Turner. They married and in 1962 performed as the Ike and Tina Turner Revue, and in 1971 released their version of Proud Mary, which won a Grammy. While in the spotlight with their music, Tina later shared her story about the abusive marriage she endured over the years. In 1976, Tina left Ike and they were divorced in 1978. Tina Turner's solo career took her to superstardom in the 1980s, including the album Private Dancer and hits like What's Love Got to Do with It and We Don't Need Another Hero. Tina shared the story of her life and career and surviving domestic abuse in her 1986 memoir, I, Tina, My Life Story. The book was the inspiration for the 1993 movie What's Love Got to Do with It, starring Angela Bassett. A Broadway show about her life, Tina, the Tina Turner musical, debuted in 2018.
It hurts to have to remember those times.
Most recently, the icon was the subject of the 2021 HBO documentary, Tina.
You're simply the best.
Over the course of Tina Turner's career, she won 8 Grammys, sold more than 150 million records worldwide, was honored at the Kennedy Center in 2005, and she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice.
A true icon. She did die earlier this week after dealing with a long illness, and now she's being remembered for the impact she made throughout her life and career. Just so sad, but a lot of life lived as well.
For sure, and she was a role model to so many. The first black female on the cover of Rolling Stone. I mean, with all the domestic violence, getting her story out there. I mean, we were talking about it takes a lot, especially back in the 70s to, you know, have something like that when she's trying to be influential and get her career going as a female. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
a lot to really look at and admire.
for sure.
And from one person that is very admirable to another, Oprah Winfrey is being floated as a potential replacement for California Senator Dianne Feinstein if the 89-year-old lawmaker steps down before the 2024 election. Okay, so the state's governor had promised to appoint a black woman if her seat opens up, but some people, you know, they're suggesting Oprah for this spot while other voters are waiting for the ballot. This one's a strange one to me because I love Oprah, okay? Oprah fan here, but that politics is not what she's known for.
Well, and you have to think back, yes, that's true. She's known, she's out there, she's done so much good for a ton of things. People out there, her shows are always so fun and vivacious. And you think back, well, okay, who else? Reagan, we know how, you know, his
that's
went,
true.
the actor, to presidential, you know, candidate, and then finally making it to the office, Schwarzenegger. Clint Eastwood, these type of people. I don't know where I am exactly on the line with Oprah. I do think she's an iconic figure. I just don't know if getting into politics is something all the way at that level. She's in it, obviously, because she's a big supporter and donor. So
I guess we'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah.
That's still developing.
we'll see if each fan on either side of the red or blue, which way they go and decide on this, right? Yeah, for sure. All right. In a recent interview, Sylvester Stallone's 3 daughters admitted they have a dad write their breakup. Their dad write their breakups to their boyfriends. Yeah. They say the 76-year-old is an old master at doing this kind of stuff, and he's great at relationship advice. I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll see. Stallone's daughters say other daughters should consider asking their dad for dating advice. One of the daughters says, it works out best because men know men, right? And hey, I'm sure no problem writing the text. I'm sure he loves them. He's just getting into it. You know, it's a way for him to be involved. I know my husband probably would. In fact, I think, you know, my daughter has asked for some advice, maybe not like on dating because she's not at that level yet, but he does have some great advice because it's obviously opposite what the female intuition would go with. So,
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Well, you know, nothing like mom's advice as fellow moms here. You know, you want the kids to come to you to help. But I have to say that, yes, that other perspective is so valuable. And, you know, maybe a son asks a mother if they're kind of thinking of ending a relationship when they get to that age. And then daughters asking dad, because a different perspective, I think, can help us be a little bit kinder. So I would say, parents, don't abuse that power. My goodness, be kind, please.
Well, interesting enough, I did do an interview with Sylvester Stallone, and he was talking a lot about his daughter. So that was kind of a thing that he's got that close knit with. So we'll see. We'll see.
I love to see that.
Yeah,
oh my goodness. Well, the acceptance letter from the first Harry Potter movie up for auction. Are you a Potterhead?
No, I was just going to say people are probably not going to like me because I'm going to say I just never went there. My stepdaughters did. They read all the books. They loved it, but I just didn't get into it.
So I watched the movies, but my husband has read most of the books in both English and German.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if he would call himself a Potterhead, but you know, he enjoyed them for sure. So this particular letter, it was donated by a producer, and the proceeds from the auction are going to be going to charity. Along with the letter, there will be a real unbroken wax Hogwarts seal on an unopened envelope, expected to sell for at least $10,000. This is going to charity, though, so that is an interesting point. But I would be so tempted to pop that open, I guess. The point is not to.
Yeah, for sure, not to. I would too. I'm always like that. I'm always the person at Christmas who's opening up the gift and keeping it back down and no one will know. Sorry, Mom. I did it all my life. And I think my daughter does it too.
Oh, that's okay then.
That's all right, yeah, for sure. All right, well, a dad has gone viral on TikTok after going the extra mile for his Swiftie daughter. It's kind of an interesting one. His daughter wasn't able to get tickets to see Taylor Swift perform, so he stood outside the stadium with her in the rain and held her up on his shoulders in this video. The girl is singing "You Belong With Me" with all the passion in the world. How sweet is this? Look at this. These are definitely memorable moments, never to forget. Look at that dad, though. Look at his face. He's like,
Dad is like,
I've
had enough of this, but I love you. That's what that face says to me.
I don't know. That's kind of cool, though. I mean, I've seen Taylor Swift in concert. Have you?
I haven't, but I will this summer. So I'm very excited about that. But, you know, we've talked so much on this show about the ticket issue with the Eras Tour and how expensive it can be. And frankly, some people just cannot afford that. That's just a reality. So it's so lovely to see that this father is still trying to give his daughter something beautiful and memorable without that cost.
I know, it is a cost, right? And sometimes it's for privileged if you can get in and the ticket problem. But I saw the last one. I will say she is a great performer and the prices weren't as expensive. So
that was nice.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, people go to college to prepare for their careers, right? But now you can apparently learn to be an influencer.
I know, new class, right?
I guess. This is a bit of a strange one to me. Okay, so Duke University is now offering classes to teach students how to gain followers, make money. It's part of an entrepreneurship program, okay? So it's not just like influencing and that's it. But the class also helps them learn to understand algorithms. So right off the bat, I was like, this is ridiculous. But when you get into it, you're like, oh, okay, I see. Like, you're learning for other things, not just to be an influencer. But I don't know. I mean, I guess that stuff's always been a mystery to me. It doesn't have to be.
I think interesting because maybe I'm on the bubble of the era that's just a little bit outside of the, the TikToking, and I'm not on that as much. And I try going, but it's like a time commitment. And I would like to know how to kind of disperse my time on that, putting time into the social media and learning just a little bit more and knowing what catches out there. Because we all do it, especially here in TV for our jobs. And, I push out a lot of weather statements. I push out a lot of sports statements and, a lot of news things that go on, but also being social and influencing what does that really mean, right?
Yeah, what does that look like?
How do you become that title? When do you become kind of the cream of the crop?
Absolutely. It is very interesting. I will say you are one of the busiest people I've ever met. So I do not blame you for not having time for TikTok, girl.
I have to shut it down sometimes. All right. QR codes, do we like them or not? They may be becoming a thing of the past at restaurants. And, during the pandemic, a lot of places turned to the QR codes for the menus because, you didn't want to touch anything and everybody was nervous. So they may have worn out their welcome in restaurants. Workers say customers are not liking the QR codes. They like the in-dining experience. They like to actually see what's on the physical menu. I, at first, didn't like them.
Right.
Because, again, maybe social media. I'm like, everything's gravitating to the phones. But again, I'm one of those people who kind of take a wet one and wipe off the menu because I think a lot of germs go on it. For sure. But I love seeing the other options really, on a bigger, maybe it's just my eyes.
Oh, no. I think a lot of people love the experience. It helps with the vibes. I will say I do agree with you 100%, but it also feels like maybe I'm asking for too much because I totally dissect the menu of every place I go to before I go to it. I already know what I want, and yet... And yet, I want to hold the menu.
Does your husband say you're one of those people? It's like, oh my gosh, let her order, a side of this. No, I'm only no onions and garlic sometimes.
Oh, that's fine. I think that's okay. No, I'm not especially picky. My husband, though, if there's a burrito on the menu, that's what he's getting, no matter where we are. I'm like, do you want to try something different? No? Okay, great.
So he's just one of those easygoing, I'll just have the burrito, doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I want to try something different every time I go. Don't do a lot of changes, but, I reserve the right.
Yeah, you can. I'll branch out every once in a while, but once I find something I like, I kind of stick to it.
Yeah. All right. And maybe with a paper menu very soon.
Yeah.
All right, coming up, the remake of Disney's Little Mermaid in theaters right now.
Love it. So great. Up next, though, we're checking in with Jody and Bender from Mornings on 95.7 The Jet to chat about just how excited people are about this movie.
Don't gotta wait today. It's happening all around, like sunshine through the clouds. I'm gonna make your day.
Disney's remake of the 1989 animated classic, The Little Mermaid, is out now. People just so excited.
I'm excited about this. I love this. Well, joining us to chat more about this, Jody and Bender from 95.7 The Jet. Hello, guys. What is going on this morning?
How are you?
How are you?
We're all good, I think. I'm happy to be here with you guys.
It's the dream, right?
We were just reminiscing during the break, so we're very chatty about it. Okay, so today though is National Wine Day. To make us even chattier, do you have some fun info about wine?
Well, of course, there's fun info about wine. We are in a wine capital here. If you want to experience some wine today, it's a great opportunity to go to Woodinville, or if you're closer to Seattle, there's the Soto tasting rooms. They're all open on Thursday, and they're all doing specials. But for people who want wine sent to their house, now is a great time to sign up for a lot of subscription services, because for National Wine Day, there are discounts, whether you do Crate Joy, Bright Cellars, Wine Insiders, Naked Wines, Vine Box. All you have to do is Google it. Today is a great day to get 25% off of a lot of these services.
Jody, how much wine do you get delivered to your house?
I get 0 wine delivered to my house.
What?
No one would have expected that answer.
I'm a member of a lot of wine clubs, and I like to go and pick up my wine. Yeah. Because even though you pay for it, it feels like a big surprise, like someone's giving you something, but they charged your credit card,
I know.
When you show up and you're like, my wine is ready, like it's some happy birthday, but it's not a birthday. I bought it.
You paid for it, yeah.
You paid for it.
Mireya, Aaron, do you guys have wine delivered to the house?
I do, and
You do?
I do like the small package, but I just got 5 bottles the other day. I thought, oh, this is great, and I love everyone. I never even pick them out. They just send me. It's like
that's
French
nice.
wine.
Yeah, being a wine club member is great.
Yes,
Really fun.
I'm also a wine club
bottles-
member.
Oh, is 5 bottles a small package? I'm just wondering.
Yes, I think, but it's quarterly. It's not per month. It comes every few months. So just to clarify that.
I would have thought it was a weekly thing. Okay.
Spring
got
release
it.
and fall
Sure.
release is how most of them do
By the
it.
way,
That's right.
if you're out at the winery tonight, Chateau Saint Michel, James Taylor's there. My wife and I will be out there, so
fun.
stop by and buy my wife some wine. I won't be taking up anybody's wine because I don't drink, so it is what it is.
Taking up anybody's wine.
But we
Hey,
can
you're-
shift from wine to ice cream.
Or we could talk about Little Mermaid.
How
Well,
about
we can
that?
talk about whatever you want.
Let's talk
Which
about
would you
Little
like to
Mermaid.
talk about? Little Mermaid opens up. I think it opens up today. You'll be able to see it tonight. Rotten Tomatoes has it at 72%. Apparently, Halle Bailey as Ariel, she's absolutely amazing.
Love
That
it.
has been the story about the movie for the opening weekend. But the big thing is that McDonald's is doing their Happy Meals and doing Little Mermaid Happy Meal with 8 individual toys and people
Cute.
online losing their minds over this.
Mireya's got to get in on that for her
I
son.
know, absolutely. I think so. And you know what? I love to hear it, though. I was very worried early on because it was Little Mermaid on the news like constantly. And sometimes I worry, what if it's a flop? But it's
don't
not.
think so, yeah.
Doesn't
No, it
sound like
won't
it.
be.
Yeah, for
If it's a
sure. Can't be a
flip.
flop.
Flop.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I thought that when I said it, and I wasn't going to
I
go
know.
there.
That's the kind of humor you get on Seattle's #1 morning show.
that's
Very nice.
right.
Very nice.
Let's talk about ice cream.
Yeah, are you guys aware of the Scooped Ice Cream Festival that's coming to Seattle Center? It's July 8th and 9th. Have you heard of this?
I have.
I have not.
Great. So Scooped is an ice cream festival. You've got like 70 different kinds of ice cream from all these different vendors. Don't ask me what kinds because it's literally not listed on the website. And also, I'm sure that it's going to be monumentally local and specific to whatever's available that day. But the tiers of tickets are selling really fast. The first tier is already gone. So if you like ice cream and you want to eat ice cream for many hours, you got to go to seattle.scoopedicecream.com and buy your tickets because who wouldn't want to spend a beautiful summer day in Seattle Center trying ice cream? Am I right? Well, Bender.
I did not know where you were going with the tiers of tickets. Oh, the tiers of tickets, the different
Yes.
level.
Different
Got it.
tiers.
Okay. Vanilla ice cream with M&Ms. That's where I'm going.
Okay,
that's
that's
my
what I was
go-to.
going to ask.
He has
Yeah.
simple tastes. You
I'm
know.
peanut
Yeah,
butter
that's it.
chocolate.
Man.
Yeah.
He's a simple man, she just said about you.
Well.
You
Mireya,
gotta go
what's
peanut
your
butter
favorite?
chocolate. All the way.
Guys, always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so
Oh, it's always
much.
a pleasure.
Peace out, Cub
Goes by so
Scouts.
fast.
Bye.
Bye. Don't forget, you can catch Jody and Bender weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. on 95.7 The Jet. And still ahead on Studio 13 Live, we're giving you a look at a new Seattle company that delivers natural wine from around the world right to your door.
Yeah, and we will get to try some ourselves. So you're going to have to stick with us. We'll let you know how it tastes coming up.
Take you another
Hey everyone, welcome back. It is time for Seattle Sips, where we check out our amazing drinks around the area. And since National Wine Day is today, we're celebrating with a new Seattle company that brings natural wines from around the world right here to our doorstep, making it easy.
Yes, I love it. And we were chatting in the break. You guys are so excited about your products, so we're happy to talk to you. Joining us today is Andy Comer and Javari Tiwari and I'm sorry, say your first name for me.
Gaurav.
Gaurav.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I really wanted to get it
We
right.
haven't had
We haven't even had the wine
That's okay.
yet. That's all right.
We did just meet, so.
Yeah, we did just meet. Well, welcome. Now, you
Thank you.
both actually worked in very different industries and
right.
then came together
Yep.
to make this beautiful company. So share with us what you did before and how you came together.
Well, you know, like all great entrepreneurs, we met through our kids.
Oh,
Our kids. We were actually parents at the same school.
Yeah.
I was an editor at GQ magazine in New York, as well as an executive at Nordstrom. Gaurav was at Amazon.
Yeah, I was. I spent about 9 years at Amazon. We're both ex-New Yorkers, and
Very nice.
met
Okay.
9 years ago in Seattle, and bonded up with kids. Yeah.
Might sound like very different backgrounds, but you know, we bonded over a love of wine, which helps, and we realized we each love solving problems and putting the customer first, which is why we started this company.
Okay, well, we're going to get into this. The Waves is kind of like Spotify, where it kind of curates wines that match your palate. So tell us about how that works? Because I know we always talk about this. And
Sure.
Kind of winemakers and influencers say, try this, it tastes buttery and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I want to know, you said this is going to be an interesting taste day.
Yeah, so most of the wine is consumed in the context of a moment in your life.
Yeah.
That is not how wine is sold. So what we are trying to do is bring those moments and recommend wine to you that's personalized for each one of you. It's like, we have wine experts on our team. We've taken their expertise, converted it into an algorithm that is a recommendation engine, and we recommend wines to you, personalized for you, to meet the perfect moments in your life. It's like having sommeliers on speed dial.
I love that you said the algorithm.
Algorithms today, and it's those problem-solving skills at work,
That's
right?
exactly right. That's exactly right.
Let's get into it. Let's try
get
this
into it.
wine.
All right.
Okay, what are we looking at?
Well, so every wine that we're going to try today, natural wine. Okay, now that's very, very important. The Waves brings you the world's best natural wines. And you might be asking, well, what's a natural wine? A natural wine is a wine that's organically farmed and contains no synthetic chemical additives whatsoever. Now you might be saying, wait a minute, aren't all wines natural? The answer, unfortunately, is not.
Interesting.
Only 5% of the world's vineyards are organic, 5%. And on top of that, over 70 additives are allowed in a bottle of wine in the US without any disclosure to the consumer. So we filter out all the noise with our award-winning team. We bring you the very best wines. You can trust what you're getting, and they're absolutely delicious.
And where are the wines coming from?
All over the world.
Okay.
All over the world.
Just
Yeah.
interesting.
All over the world. And we're actually going to start today with a really beautiful Sauvignon Blanc from Chile, from the Malay Valley.
I
Do you like
do.
Sauvignon?
I
I do too.
love Sauvignon.
But I will say sometimes it gets a little citrusy. Sometimes they get too fruitful for me and acidic. So
I hear you. This is a unique rustic Sauvignon Blanc. This is by a natural winemaker named Rafael Tirado, who's kind of a hero in South America. And it is like our chief wine officer, Billy, who we'll talk about in a second, says that this is like, he likes drinking this instead of a mimosa.
Oh, that's
fun.
big words. All right, let's see.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh, fun,
I like that.
fresh.
doesn't taste really acidic at all.
No,
That's
just
right.
the right amount of fruity.
I don't want to dump. I want to have all the
Girl, do
Drink.
it.
Yeah.
No dumping.
Hot wine face.
It's the right balance of fruit and minerality. You can almost sort of taste the soil in it.
Okay.
Beautiful expression of Sauvignon Blanc from the Mal Valley in Chile.
Yeah.
Love that. All right, what is next?
So this is an orange wine.
Yeah.
Like the fruit?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's not made from oranges.
Okay. It is the color orange.
It is the color orange, and it's the color orange. It's actually made from white grapes, but it's treated the way that red wines are treated. So it's fermented with the skins on, hence this kind of amber color. This is from a winemaking family in Slovakia.
I've never had
Yes.
my people.
Really? Awesome.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So this is a family called Slobodne. It goes back to the early 20th century. I think they're on their 5th generation of winemakers right now. And these wines are just gorgeous.
Cheers to you, gentlemen.
Well, sometimes I tend to steer away from weird color.
Yeah?
No,
All right, well,
but I
let us know
can.
what you
It
think.
smells amazing, and I do love that. So this counts as a white, a white wine.
We call it an orange wine,
wine,
but you can
yeah.
also call it a skin contact white wine, is another way that the kids refer to it these days.
It's interesting
Ooh, it
taste
has-
on the palate. It's completely
Right?
different.
It's
not
completely
anything
different.
like the first one.
That's right.
Yeah.
This category wine is sort of trending right now, but the reality is that it actually goes back to like 6100 BC. So it's
Wow.
an ancient winemaking technique.
I feel like I can
Old but new.
taste, and I mean this in a wonderful way, like kind of like that, like rind there.
That's 100% right.
The
Yeah,
skins.
yeah,
That's
is that what it
skin
is?
contact,
Oh,
yes.
very good, very interesting,
Like
and
between
different.
a white and a red.
Yes. All right. What is next?
All right. So the
Pour some
next
rosé.
wine.
Rosé.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Let's
Can
do
I
the
pour?
rosé.
Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Please go
Let me
for
do
it.
it. Let me.
The professionals.
No, wait, you're a guest. You're a guest here.
Here.
This is a gorgeous rosé from a amazing woman winemaker in the south of France. Her name is Brunhilde.
Oh, fun.
Which is one of my favorite names.
Yes.
And it's just a gorgeous, happy, it's like sunshine in a glass. And unlike a lot of rosés out there, you're not going to get any of that sort of like cloying, treacly flavor with this. It's just like really fresh, really uplifting. It's so clear. These wines, I can really taste that there are no additives.
Yeah.
I can really taste that they're farmed without chemicals because they are so pure. Also, by the way, these wines are lower alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. I love this trend of lower alcohol because I love the flavors that we get, but you know, you don't always want to be like
Yep.
really loopy.
Yep,
You know what
for
I
sure.
mean?
And sometimes the sulfurs and everything that's in them, I wake
Yes.
up in the middle of the night and think, why did I have that
Yeah.
wine?
Yeah.
So that is one of
Yeah.
the 70 plus additives that people put in wines.
in
They
the
put
wine.
added sulfur. Now
Interesting.
sulfur's always in wine, but
Yeah.
a lot of winemakers add a lot more. The vast majority of our winemakers add almost no sulfur in bottling. So
Wow.
That is good to know.
It has been a joy speaking to you both. This has been so incredibly fun, delicious wine, and we've posted more information on our website about the waves. You can find it on fox13seattle.com/studio13live. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to try that one in the break too. All right, coming up next on Studio 13 Live, we're sitting down with the Seattle Mariners mental skills coach.
I love this, and she's sharing how she coaches players keep their cool when they're at bat. I need some of this on the sidelines. So we're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn to breathe.
So the game of baseball and so many other sports as well, full of emotions, stressful situations. For example, if you have a big at bat, well, that could send the team into the postseason.
For sure, but maybe not. Or a bad at bat could send the season into the end of the season. You could lose and just not go on, and the series could be over, and it's just kind of scary. We're on the edge of our seats. But we need to prepare our bodies for that kind of situation, physically and mentally. So our minds need to be right, right?
Yes, absolutely. Mind right. You got to work out. You got to work on your mind too. So important. And joining us in studio today, we have Stephanie Hale Burkhart, the mental skills coordinator for the Seattle Mariners. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
We're so excited to have you here because I think your job, it's really a testament to the importance of being fully prepared for a sports experience.
For sure it is. It can come down to the wire, and it gets pretty hectic. It gets crazy, and you never know what each individual player or coach or athlete is thinking in their own minds themselves.
So walk us through what it is that your days look like.
Yes. So my days today they generally follow a similar format, but obviously it can look a little different depending on what players and coaches are needing. But a lot of times the days it consists more or less of finding ways to be around and be available as much as possible. So a lot of times it's showing up to the field, figuring out what times we have different types of meetings, where are pockets of times where we can meet with individuals and things like that. And then figuring out like, what does the practice day look like? When is cage time? When are we doing throwing program? That kind of stuff. Because the best thing about my job is the more we can be around, the more we can see how players go about their work, the way they respond to different things, the better we're going to get to know them. And they just see us around more often. And so there's opportunities for those like organic interactions. And so we get to be a part of pretty much any meeting, any aspect of practice we want to be there for. We're there to observe. And then, of course, if players or coaches need anything specific, we're able to engage with them of what's going on, ask questions, maybe just observe some different types of body language, or even if they're like verbally saying things, like just more or less gather evidence of what's going on, how are they reacting or responding to this? Is there anything that we can do to help make this even more effective for them, more productive for them, and just make it basically something that we enhance their awareness of. How is this showing up for you? And then what can we do to course correct that? So being a part of pitching meetings, hitting meetings, being a part of any types of like pregame conversations so that we know what are we trying to get our players to do or understand, how are we using this information, and then able to take it so that when we're on field, we're as clear as possible. And truthfully, that's when we want you to not think. The thinking should happen ahead of time so that when we're on the field, it can just be simple, clear, and we let our bodies do what we've trained them to do.
Training takes over.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
It's interesting because we all prepare physically, and Mireya and I were talking about working out and doing dips and getting our arms strong, and she's saying, I love Angela Bassett's arms and things, but it's a mental game, right?
Absolutely.
It is, and you probably can read players so much better than they can read themselves. And I know this from being like a college athlete, and you try to hide it, and the mental game is really a hard thing to get a grasp on when you start spiraling out of control.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And something we like to just kind of like reiterate to our players and coaches is everything that we do, nothing happens independent of a mindset. Something is going to be influencing whatever we choose to do and how we choose to do it. And so we're always training our mindset. It's just, what are you training it to do? Are we reinforcing things that maybe aren't going to be as helpful for us in the long run? Or can we start to find ways to enhance that awareness with different skills or strategies, different ways of gathering feedback so that we now have that awareness to change and train it for the better?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, you do have a wonderful job helping all these people that we so admire, but talk to our viewers about the lessons that they can take for themselves, or maybe how they can help their young children who are athletes and kind of getting their head around all the stress that's involved there.
Yeah, the best part about my job is that it applies in any situation and to anybody, because the truth is that like whatever job task that we have to get done, and we all have jobs and tasks to do, we can be finding ways to have that awareness of what our mindset is doing, right? And so it's like we're all going to feel things like stress, anxiousness. We're going to have confidence sometimes, we're not going to have confidence sometimes. And so it's understanding like how can we take some of these skills and strategies of understanding, okay, like I am feeling stressed right now. This is what my body tends to do under stress. Maybe I'm feeling tense. Maybe I'm feeling exhausted. Maybe I am just like nervous for a presentation that I have or something. And so it's like, okay, how do I understand what's happening? And then where do I need to get myself in order to be able to do this job or perform this task at the level that I want to? So we talk to our players a lot about being able to regulate their stress response. What are some different skills and strategies that we have to do that? One of the biggest ones we love to talk about is being able to implement different types of breath work or understand how you can use your breath, right? And we talk about that for a few reasons. The breath is one of the best skills at most like effectively and efficiently changing the way that our body and mind responds to stress. So when we can change our breathing patterns and slow it down, we can actually regulate our nervous system. So now I can think a little bit more clearly. Or maybe those days where you wake up and you're feeling super heavy, body doesn't want to get going, like, and I need to get moving, right? We all felt that. Maybe I can do something to get my heart rate up, get myself ready, get locked in for the day. Maybe that's breath work. We've also utilized things like cold tubs or cold showers, shock the nervous system, get it going. Yes.
I will say I just did that. I did a river cold water plunge, and I was freaked out and stressed and mentally not prepared. But once I got in and did it and got out, I felt absolutely amazing. But I want to know if you can talk us through that. I could use that on the sidelines, and I probably could have used that as a college athlete to kind of calm things down, because our trainers could tell when we were tense. And it's okay to get nervous. I talked to, Mireya, I get nervous coming on the show today. I thought, oh, it's it's out of my box. It's a little something new and fun, but I like it. And I think if you're not nervous, you're not living.
Yes.
So,
I love that mindset.
Yeah.
We'd love to learn a few breathing lessons. Would you mind teaching us?
Yes, absolutely. Would love to. So the biggest thing about breathing is there's two ways that we talk about it with our players. So the biggest thing that we'll talk about is when it comes to understanding the rhythm or the cadence, right? When we want to slow things down or we need to relax a little bit more, one of the biggest things we want to be able to do is just slow the exhale down. And so if we can just extend that exhale. Sometimes we can have our players add counts to it. It doesn't even necessarily need to be a count though. Maybe it's as simple as just, okay, smooth, slow exhale. In the nose, out the nose, or in the nose, out the mouth.
Okay, and just slow it down. I love that it's so simple, but
it is
works.
something you have to train yourself. I do a little bit of Orange Theory workout, and when I get on the rower, I tend to think it's a sprint to the end, and I get going. And they're like, Erin, breathe in.
Yes.
Breathe out.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And it helps.
Yes.
And I get my heart rate up and down quickly.
Down.
Yes.
So you see the physical manifestation of it.
I do.
Working. Thank you so much for joining us today. It has been a true pleasure. I know that people appreciate seeing what you're doing for our Mariners, but also what they can do for themselves. Amazing. All right. We'll be coming right back, and we will have some amazing guests to talk to. But for now, you can get more information here on fox13seattle.com/Studio 13 Live.
Yeah, we'll be talking more health awareness as we get into Monday next week, too. So.
All right. We know people love their pets.
Oh,
of course.
Love mine.
Of
Can't live
course.
without them.
Yes.
Okay.
And more people are finding ways to get their dogs into their weddings. Okay, so we got doggy ring bearers, flower pups, and even groom dogs. I love it all.
I believe it all. I mean, for sure. I mean,
Look at this viral video, though. Wow. A couple's Labrador stealing the show after the groom performed an adorable father-dogster dance. This is little Rosie. Bride says Rosie, definitely a daddy's girl, and she also served as ring bearer.
Oh my goodness.
I'm obsessed with my dogs, but I don't know if they're well behaved enough to like bring a ring.
I think I can train Loki the Looker.
Yeah.
He's an influencer on Instagram.
Did he take that college class?
He did. He took the class. He got an A in it. And his buddies who were up at Discovery Park, his two little dog buddies, male and female got married up at Discovery Park, and there was a ceremony, and there's a video of it that went viral. It was really funny.
I like that.
For sure, yeah. Oh gosh. Well, we all know athletes can be a bit superstitious. I know I am. A softball player is taking her batting ritual to a whole new level, Mireya. This is crazy for sure. All right, this is a player from George Mason University. You saw it. She licks her bat, not just before getting into the batter's box, but she does it between every pitch. She's not the first to do this. A handful of professional baseball players are known for doing it. And they do it, and they just do it. They have to. They can't stop. They don't care what they look like. They just kind of lick and stick.
We're really seeing that a whole lot, aren't we?
Well, it's one of those things where baseball players, if they get up and eat pancakes in the morning before a game, and they have a winning, like a pitcher, for instance, and they have a winning series, and maybe they went to the car wash too, they do it all the time.
But what would make you lick the bat in the first place? I get the need to fulfill the ritual, but like, what was the first moment you were like, I'm licking this bat?
Probably because, it's like sometimes kissing the bat. You know, maybe they didn't want to do that. Maybe then it got
French
there and it was an accident. And maybe they licked the bat, and then it became like, oh my goodness, I had a grand slam, and now you got to do it all the time.
Oh boy.
So it just becomes one of those things, I think, that they get into their routine and you just can't let up. Maybe we should talk to Stephanie from the Mariners, but the breathing coach
about licking bats. Well, you know what? I will say my only hope is that it's her own bat. That maybe she doesn't have to share that bat.
Do you
with
think
other
she
people.
like washes it down after?
I hope so. I don't know. That is probably one of the weirdest stories. And you know what? I hope she wins it all. Because if you're going to be licking a bat, go for it all the way.
That's going to be her story.
You know, I really am hoping that this next trend doesn't stick around for that long. Okay. So, men are walking around barefoot in public, but not just the beach, okay? Like out in these streets, especially cities like LA, New York. It's the Barefoot Boy Summer, but just because it has a cutie name does not mean that it is a cute thing to do, okay? So we've seen photos of several stars, including people that are in Euphoria, posting themselves, just walking around in these dirty streets barefoot. Aaron!
Luckily, I have a pedicure. Do you want my toes on your side?
Thank you, Aaron. Aaron is making it a memorable day, y'all.
For sure. But I mean, even though
are you gonna walk in the streets?
I shout. No, I do not like that. When I see people coming into restaurants and things, I think etiquette. Right, have to have it. I'm not gonna do it, so I'll put mine back on for you.
You did clean up though. We're not talking like if you were like walking around downtown Seattle and then started jumping on this chair, we'd have a problem.
There's gum and sticky stuff and
questionable liquids. I don't know what that is.
Questionable liquids are very questionable. You just don't know. All right, there used to be a stigma around buying things used, but this seems to be the ongoing trend right now. I kind of like it. A new market. In the market, researchers have found that Americans are buying clothes that are used last year, and the data shows that resale growth has doubled in the past 5 years, all thanks to platforms like Facebook Marketplace. Plus, you can find almost anything used these days, like OfferUp, and there's always deals to be made. You know, I am always a fan of pay it forward.
Yeah.
And when my kids, you have little kids, you have a 4-year-old, my kids are older now, we love to clean out closets and we love to make packages for the neighbor girl who's 8 and we pass it down and we see her wearing it. But I love gently used clothing. I'm happy to do it. I've given a couple addresses to some gals here at Fox and we just kind of swap out.
Yeah,
it's like
especially if it's just something that is still looking good. Why not? It's good for the environment.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, still to come on Studio 13 Live, La Dispensa is showing us how to make some really amazing Italian food.
Yeah, including some fancy flatbreads with house-made pork and prosciutto sausage. We'll be right back. Keep it here on Studio 13 Live. Eats, where we highlight delicious food in our area, and today is exciting one.
I know, it is so exciting. Today we are joined by Chef Sabrina Tinsley with La Dispensa. Welcome!
Thank you, so wonderful to be here.
Yes, and it already smells so amazing. So La Dispensa opened in Capitol Hill's Chop House Grill last November. So tell us, what does La Dispensa mean, and what kind of food do you serve?
La Dispensa means the pantry. So essentially it's the pantry of La Spiga, which is our sister restaurant. And we serve cured meats, cheeses, all of our homemade breads. We put panini together for you. We serve our lasagnas and all kind of take-home meals as well.
I love this. So how does this Italian deli style differentiate between just regular deli style food and the love that's put behind it?
Yes, well, we've always kind of as a practice at La Spiga have always tried to feature foods that are typical from our experience living in Italy, and so even our meats and cheeses are all from Italy. And then we also feature some breads that really you can only find at La Spiga and Dispensa.
Ooh, I love to hear that. Some tasty bread. All right, so we've already started working on the meal we're putting together today. So walk us through what it is.
Yeah. So we have salsiccia con funghi, polenta, and fontina. So that's our house-made pork and prosciutto sausage with a mushroom sauce. We have a side of crispy polenta and then
polenta.
some melted fontina.
Nice.
So that's cheese, right?
That's cheese. Yeah, fontina cheese. Yes. Melted fontina cheese.
Beautiful.
Well,
wow.
While we're going to kind of cut this up and eat it, talk to us about how the restaurant started and your Italian flair. Maybe you can speak a little Italian for us. You know, I love it. It just makes the food sound like it's going to be so much better when you speak a different language, right?
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, we got started in 1998 actually with our big restaurant La Spiga, and we actually had some businesses back in Italy. Pietro and I, that's my husband. We sold piadina, which is our flatbread. Which is featured in the basket over here. We sold that business to move to Seattle and open La Spiga.
Wow. Beautiful. So you are not new to the restaurant scene.
No,
I feel like you probably have a keen awareness of what people want. And it sounds like here at La Dispensa, it's really a focus on delicious food that you can take home quickly. Talk to me about the value of that.
Yes, so it's actually a concept that my husband and I have been throwing around for years and years. And we kind of jumped at the opportunity after the pandemic. People were already kind of in the habit of taking their food home with them. And so we really wanted to double down on that.
Well, double down on what's the top favorites. Like, tell me what. I mean,
gosh.
I know lasagna, right? We're talking Italian. I mean, that is comfort food from Italy is just one of the things that hits the spot. Gnocchi, all that. It's so wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so tell us what you
Yeah,
love.
we're like, tell us more.
Okay. Well, the lasagna definitely is a favorite, and it's classic from my husband's region of Emilia-Romagna. And we do it the classic style, and then we do all of our homemade pastas as well. So, and obviously the sauces. So I think we're mostly known for our pastas, but also our cured meat platters, and we make a special bread called gnocco fritto, which some of your guests may be familiar with, but it's a deep-fried bread puff, and it goes perfectly with prosciutto and cured meat. So.
Beautiful. And on top of everything else, you also have your own wine?
Yes, so we have our own branded wine for La Dispensa.
I love that.
It's called Rosie's Rosso. Rosie's Rosso.
Oh, nice.
And Rosie is our logo. It's a little pig, winking pig. And so this was specially blended by our ex-bar manager in Italy. So,
Beautiful. So let's put this dish together and just kind of walk us through the steps.
Absolutely. So this is going to be available very soon as a kit that you can buy online.
Fun.
So yes, so you'll get exactly what you see here. So 4 sausages that are going to be raw. You'll have to cook them yourself.
Okay.
But I've already cooked them and heated them up. And the fontina is melted. So that goes right on the plate. And you can cut this up too if you have like maybe, this is actually a good sharing dish for even 3 to 4
That's a
people.
party dish.
Yes, absolutely.
I love it.
It's comforting to see all the dips and the ooziness of it. I kind of like all that when you're especially talking about bread, Mireya. I'm one of those people who kind of take it from my grandma.
Beautiful.
Who always loved her bread.
I love how crispy that looks. Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
crispy polenta, definitely.
So talk to me about why it is that a kit like this is so helpful for somebody like myself who is not very good in the kitchen.
Or
It's a
also
tragedy.
busy at work.
Also busy, but I'm not good, and I'm very honest about that. So walk me through why it's something that it's like worth the try.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm a mom too.
Okay.
And so I know the importance of having a meal that's quick to prepare. And so we get everything to a point where it's really easy for you to put together. In some cases, we have videos that you can watch, and
that's great.
and then it's even easier. You just watch the video. It's at the most 5 minutes, but between 1 and 5 minutes, and then you just heat it up. You take it home and heat it up. Done, and then you have a restaurant quality meal at home.
That's better than a cookbook, because if the cookbook doesn't have a little bit of the picture on it, I tend to skip and find something with the picture. So if you're doing a video and it's 1 to 5 minutes, we're sold.
All right, we ready to try?
Yes.
Oh
so I'm going to put the sauce on.
Okay,
so this, I actually, the butter is optional because we wanted to keep it dairy-free. Well, actually, it's not dairy-free because of the cheese. But the butter is optional, and I added truffle butter for a special touch.
Yummy!
Which we
That
also
is something
sell
that
at
just kind
Dispensa.
of makes it that extra
Beautiful.
little sweet taste there. It's great.
Yes.
And your plating skills, I mean, who would have doubted it, but your plating skills are excellent. Beautiful.
Yes, and we can garnish that with a little bit of rosemary.
Oh, nice.
Parsley if you have it.
Smells
Very
so good.
pretty. Oh, look at this. Beautiful. Can we dig in?
Absolutely. And in the meantime, should I prepare the second one?
Yeah, talk to us about what it is.
Okay, so this is a piadina with mozzarella, melanzane, e pomodori. So it's mozzarella, roasted eggplants, roasted tomatoes, and our house-made salsa verde. And this is on piadina, which is our flatbread.
Eggplant's hard to do sometimes.
Yes. It can be.
Yes,
Yes,
it is
I
very
think it's hard to do.
temperamental.
I try it and
very
it's like,
temperamental. And if it's a little bit bruised, even worse.
I love this.
I'm gonna do a dip too.
So delicious.
Yes.
Warm and hearty, just what you want for dinner time.
Oh, for lunch today.
For anytime, anytime, baby. All right, we do have about 16 seconds to get a closer look at these beautiful meals on our Instagram. Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been lovely.
Pleasure.
It's been a happy day.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
thank you for joining us today. Have a lovely day. Make it a good one.
Bye.
I wanna see you smile, take you another mile. Don't gotta wait, don't gotta wait, don't gotta